You're listening to Thinkers What Works podcast. I'm your host, Jason Todd, with my missing co-host, Alex Gary. Alex, we love you. But today we're here with Alana and Tracy from Poopsie's, an amazing store in downtown Galena. And we are here for Poopsie's Live Day. What is this Poopsie's Live Day all about?
We are kicking off our website that you guys helped us gear up, and our new innovative shopping service where you can shop live from home, and we'll give you the personal shopper experience here. So we're just
Personal shopper experience?
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
You get us without leaving the comfort of your home. So FaceTime in, and we will show you all the things you absolutely need in the store, and you never have to get off your couch.
Wow.
Doesn't get better.
So Poopsie's. Now I'm wearing a shirt today. Our listeners can't see this, but the folks on video can. I'm wearing a shirt today that says 25 years or 25 plus years. But you ladies seem too young to have owned the store for 25 years.
It's good makeup.
I know, okay?
Yes. So Alana and I took the torch, if you'll say, back in 2011. Poopsie's first opened its doors in 1992. And the original owners named it Poopsie's because her grandmother called all the grandchildren Poopsie. So it was her nickname for the kids, so they named the store in honor of her.
Awesome.
And that's how Poopsie's got its name back in 1992. And then, like I said, we took over in 2011. So we are on our 8th year and 26 years. Am I correct in that?
7 and 26.
7 and 26. So
Wow.
it's gone by really fast.
Has it?
Yes.
That's awesome. So you have now. Am I right? You both worked at Poopsie's. Yeah.
We
Correct.
did. Yeah.
And that's where you guys met?
Yes.
Correct.
Or did you know each other from the Galena area?
We
since
did
it's
not.
No.
And we're not sisters or
No.
related,
Not sisters.
regardless
Not
of
at
how
all.
we look.
Yeah. You do look very
All the
very
time.
similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
People confuse us quite regularly, actually, and we just roll with it.
Yeah.
It's a great code way to get great banking documents. You just look the same and go in, whatever. It's perfect.
As you can tell, we're wearing matching headgear today.
Yeah.
And we even have on the same shoes, and we did not plan it.
It happens.
Oh, I didn't know
It
that.
happens.
Yes.
Oh, sure enough. And you sell those shoes at the store too.
We do.
Yeah.
Fit kicks. Everybody needs them.
Fit kicks?
Yes,
Those are
fit
bonus
kicks.
buys right now?
Bonus buys.
Bonus buys
today.
today.
Bonus buys.
All right. So our listeners probably are going to listen to this too late, but today our video viewers might see that. So the bonus buys. So Poopsie's been around for a while. You ladies both worked there, and now you own the place. What kind of changes have you seen since you took over?
Well, one of our focuses when we took over is we really wanted to dive into the local community a little bit more. Previously we've really functioned off of tourism and people coming in for weekend trips. But a lot of locals always thought, oh, it's too busy downtown or parking or this and that. And it's too great of a store not to have people right outside our door enjoying what we do. So that was probably one of our biggest pushes, that we really wanted to just dive into the community, keep it fun and exciting, but have those kids coming in, have the parents coming in. And so we've come up with some services and things just to kind of bring them in the doors and make it a little more interactive and fun. So
One of the things that we have done to help with that is our wish box program. So kids and even adults can come in and fill a wish box of things that they might want for a birthday, an anniversary, a wedding, and then we keep it on file here, and then people come in and shop right out of that. So we have had a lot of locals that have taken advantage of that, and they come in the day of the birthday party and pick something out of the wish box, and we throw it in a Poopsie's bag, and off they go.
Wow.
So that's been good.
So people can do their own shopping in the store and then so they get the thing that they want.
they get what they want
Yeah.
physically. And you don't have to go find aisle 4 on shelf 3 off of a registry list. It's just
Right.
in a box.
Oh.
And you dig like a little kid in a treasure box and pick out what you want to
And
buy.
you came up with that concept?
We did.
Wow. So you also have this Poopsie's Live thing, which, because it seems to me you're doing innovative things in retail. Now, our podcast is geared towards small business owners, entrepreneurs, and other interesting people. And you are small business owners, entrepreneurs. You're also interesting people. So you are in all 3 categories.
That's
Right?
funny. We'll take that as a compliment.
No, it's a compliment. It's totally a compliment. I love you guys. So you have this Poopsie's Live thing, which is innovative as well. And you said that a personal shopping experience. Now, walk us through that personal shopping experience and what it means to Poopsie's.
Sure. So one of the things that people that come into Poopsie's regularly tell us is, we come back here because we can walk in the door, find one of you poopettes, tell you what we need, and you just make it happen. And so we were trying to figure out how to get that to where our people who are only coming into town 1 or 2 times a year can still enjoy that same service and that feeling. We call them Poopsie moments, but not necessarily have to be in the store. And so we came up with the concept due to technology that why don't we FaceTime them? They can still have us there. It's face-to-face interaction. We'll prep their gifts ahead of time so they're not wasting their time, and we just zip through a speedy shopping process, but they're talking to us. So they seem to really enjoy it. It's been fantastic so far.
What's the furthest away that somebody's been shopping on that Poopsie's Live experience?
So far it's only been a couple hours away. And actually we had someone in town who, due to a surgery, couldn't get out of their house. And she was in a super pinch, and she's like, she called and said, I gotta send my husband in, and I need these 3 things. Can you help him? And I said, even better, skip the husband, save him for the delivery. And
you're like, no, I can't
and
help him.
she's like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So she felt leaving, she got the best things. She was stuck at home. She didn't have to worry about what he was picking up. Not that all husbands aren't capable of gift shopping, but it does make us wives a little nervous. So it doesn't have to be afar. It can be situations too where you just physically can't get in the store. So
yeah. So people a couple hours away, you said, have videoed in to have that in-store experience, and it's clearly working for you because then they end up buying.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's no limit though. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, we can't have people from California and. Actually, we had someone from Seattle, Washington, so that actually would be our first.
Really?
So we did have someone, I forgot, we had someone from Seattle, Washington face in, and it was great.
And the Poopsies experience is quite an experience. It's, I mean, you walk in, you got music playing. Today there's a little thing next to the door that kind of whistles at you, like, woo-hoo.
Our whistling gnome.
Right.
He's our greeter, our official mascot here at Poopsies.
Year round.
And you've got games out that people can play. You've got stuff all over the place. Wall art. You've got toys for kids. You've got a room, I think, for, it seems like young 0 to 3 type of children.
Guys.
A lot of interactive stuff. So what do you think is the most interesting thing you guys sell?
That's a hard question because it really depends on who you're shopping for.
Okay.
The most interesting thing.
Yeah.
I like anything that scares the pants off of people, so I like all of our scare tactic, our Boomer's Bones and the shock box, but I'm one of those that, you watch those funny videos where someone runs into a window and I find them highly entertaining, so I like,
So you like things that injure people?
That doesn't have to injure, just a reaction, Jason, just a reaction.
You're sort of sadistic. Okay. What about you? To you, what's the most interesting thing?
I just love interacting with customers, so if I can play a game with you and totally beat you, that is awesome. I'm not going to let you win, but that interaction with customers and having fun is really what I love doing each and every day.
Yeah, and so you're business partners.
Correct.
Yeah, which is it's a lot of people start business partnerships and then business partnerships kind of have a life to their own. It seems to me, and I've known you for a little bit, it seems to me you have this really good partnership where you have different personalities, you got different skill sets, you take care of different things, and do you feel that that's part of what makes that business partnership successful?
I think it probably is. I think, if we were too similar, we actually don't even hardly see each other during the day, to be honest. Like, we have to schedule meetings in order to see each other because we're in different worlds here. Like, I'm upstairs, she's downstairs most of the time. Outside of work, we have 2 families, so they keep us hopping.
I noticed that Tracy was teaching you how to play one of the games.
Yeah, today. I couldn't remember one of the new games, and that's her world down there. So yeah, she tackles that world. She would prefer never to be at a desk if she doesn't have to in life.
It's true.
And I am
not
perfectly
a desk
fine
person.
hiding out, but I mean, I do love, like today, like I'm all over that. That is so much fun down there. Like, I love going down there, but I am perfectly fine hiding in an office too. So I think we balance really well.
We do.
Our brains work differently. We're also, one of us will get super excited about something and the other one will be like, and so we always end up nice in the middle. People do get scared of us because when we come up with ideas or brainstorm, people think we're fighting, and they'll like, are you guys okay?
We're like, we're like a couple of minions.
Yeah,
we just talk
over each other, and you should hear our Monday morning meetings.
Out. Yeah.
And the staff is like that too. We've trained them like
Yeah.
that. So our Monday morning meeting sounds like, I don't know, like a chicken farm or something. It's just,
Yeah.
and we come out of it and we all know the game plan and we're excited about what we're doing. And it's like we have a new employee and she's like, whoa.
Whoa, what just happened?
Like,
Oh,
don't
really?
worry, you'll
Yeah.
catch on. It'll be fine.
She introduced to the sociologist place.
Yeah. So yeah, you just
Yeah. We have a very good balance. Elena's, like she said, in the upstairs. I'm downstairs. We cross paths in a couple different areas, and it works.
Yeah.
And you have, Tracy, you've got this kind of Energizer Bunny type of thing for customer service
It's
and
true.
people.
It's true.
Because you are totally on. I'm sort of an introvert. You know, I can ride that way for a while, and then I'm like, okay, well, it's the ride's done. I'm going to go on the beach.
Then you gotta go hide out.
right?
Yeah. No.
Fall asleep on your
No.
couch.
Fall asleep on a couch.
So, but you're down there. You are just interacting with everybody, loving
Yeah.
every minute of it, and they
Yeah.
certainly love you. So do you think that that's important? Do you think that's critical to a retail environment? What would you say to a person who's kind of struggles with that? How would you call them to that?
You know, in our world, it's our special sauce is customer service and working with each and every customer and having that energy level and being able to just walk up to anybody and start talking to them and telling them about something in the store, or being able to ask a question, answer their question, whether it's about how to play this game or where the local bathrooms are or what's your favorite place to eat in town. So definitely, in Poopsies, you have to be an extrovert and be able to work with customers.
Do you hire for that personality, people for your retail floor?
Absolutely, we do. I mean, we have some employees that are a little bit more reserved, but it's fun to pull them out of their shell a little bit. We start them, and we train on that, so we'll start them, you know, behind the register, learning to run that, and they have a little bit of interaction, and then eventually they warm up to our craziness, and
They want in on the fun.
they
Let's be
do,
honest.
they do, and next thing you know, they're out on the sales floor selling. We have one of our gals started when she was 14, and she's amazing running that register, but to see her out on the sales floor now selling,
She's like,
it's
"Get me out of the
amazing.
register."
It's really amazing.
People always
watch
want to
them
start at the
grow.
register. It's like a safety zone. You know,
Right.
you've got a
You have a
bumper.
big thing in front of you.
Yeah. And then they get into it, and it's all fun and games, but you're watching everything else happen. And let's be honest, most of the Poopsie moments are happening on the sales floor. And
Right.
eventually, people are like, "That's not so scary out there. I want in on that." And so it's fun to watch, especially the youngsters. Called our mom moments. You know, we like to watch them grow. We know we're gonna push them out of the nest eventually, and they're gonna
Yep.
go somewhere else. But it's really neat to just watch them develop and grow. And you know, instead of being an introvert, they end up. You know, they're still an introvert maybe, but they're going to be a much more exciting outside their box a little bit more. So.
So you got a process then that you train them through to get them to the point where they can be effective as a poopette, kind of giving you that, making sure that special sauce is part of everybody's repertoire. Yeah?
Right. I mean, when some people can walk in the door and they just have that personality, and you literally just have to get them this product knowledge,
Yeah.
and they're gonna run on their own, and those are the ones you really love seeing come through the door. But let's be honest, not everybody's built to just walk into a retail,
Right.
you know, environment on steroids and be able to jump right in and,
Yeah.
and know what you're doing.
And
so.
particularly a lot of retail environments with younger staff, it sort of falls flat. I think most people walk into a retail environment with younger staff and think, okay, I don't have high expectations here. I'm
Right.
going to ask a question. I'm in a little bit of a blank stare. I might have to guide you through, you know, how to speak to somebody. But I've been here several times, and that's not the case here. It seems that everybody's got that greeting mentality. We're going to greet you. We're going to walk you through, ask you questions. That it isn't by accident. So you're telling me you do have a defined process for how people get educated and grow here at Poopsies.
We coach
Absolutely.
every day. People are always like, well, how many hours do you think you put into training
Yeah.
an employee? And we're like, I don't really think you can count it because we train every single. I mean, I just got trained this morning, like you saw. I didn't know how to play a game, so we spent 5 minutes relearning how to play a game. Like, we coach staff every day, all day, whether they're here for 2 weeks or 4 years. It's an ongoing process, and I think that's what a lot of retailers miss out on is they go through their training process and then they're done, and then it just floats. Well, as humans, we automatically regress
Yeah.
back, and you do go flat again. I mean,
Mhm.
everybody does. You have to have that continual, cycle of you bringing it back up to the excitement and retraining and relearning, and so that's big for us here to make sure that we keep on that for everybody. So
Yeah. So as small business owners in retail, and retail globally is struggling, as small business owners in retail, what have you found to be some sticking points that you've had to learn yourself through the years?
I think every day is a sticking point, though.
Something new all the time.
We learn something new I learn something new every single day
Okay.
that I come to work.
Retail's kind of a roller coaster ride all the time, too. So, I mean, you just never know. You never know when a process is going to go super easy, or the weather's going to be perfect, and the politics are just right, and people are just flooding through your doors, and now my problem is, how do I get enough staff in here on a daily basis? 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, poof, it's snowing in April, and you have no customers. You're like, all right, now what are we going to do to develop some business? You're like, so I don't think we have like one big sticking point. We're really excited to kind of kick off a website and be added to our, retail store, so like a real functioning, another little component of us that feels like us. That used to be a sticking point of having a website that represented us. But otherwise, we get little sticking points, but they're kind of just environmental or short term, and we've just learned you jump in and you tackle. We're not one to sit back and let's write it out, see what happens. Like, you be proactive, jump in there and do something and see what happens. So
how much is planning an important part of operating your business?
I think it's super important. I think we don't do as much as we should because we just are always too busy. So that's part of our goals of changing that up a little bit and spending more time planning even more. We're very spontaneous, and good news is we can do a lot fast. So
you sure can.
If we miss something, we got a good chance we can still pull it off. But it would be a lot nicer to do it in a calmer version over a course of a few days instead. So
is that the idea of planning? Because I think you're ahead of the curve, and for most people to talk with, I think even though you think you could plan more, I think you already plan a lot, and you're not so reactionary as most small business owners are day to day. Is that something that you started with? That kind of understanding, is that something you brought to this business, or is that something that you?
I think I bring it. We have this running joke that she's the reactionary, and I'm the one that thinks ahead on things. So
I'm very much fly by the seat of your pants type person. It is what it is.
Yeah. Like, no, we need a plan. Need a plan.
Yeah, so we balance each other out really, really well.
I come from the business background, especially the banking background. Everything there is pre-planned and thought out, and risk processes, and so that's the side that I bring that we never had in retail before in our area is the black and white process. We have a process for everything. People start here and they think it's hysterically funny and ridiculous until they need a process. I'm like, oh hey, wait, I know I can open this book, and so it's rather than rethinking things.
It has been really nice to be able to incorporate that and have all of our policies and procedures right there at our fingertips. So if a new employee comes in, they don't have to continue to ask how things are done. It's right here laid out. They can tackle it on their own and then ask if they have questions.
How long did it take you to get to that point?
Oh, we're still adding.
Sure,
we still don't have it done.
When did you feel like that binder was like, okay, this is usable?
Maybe like a year ago, we really hammered it out and said, okay, let's sit down and at least think about what all we need. But
so how long was that then? When did you buy Poopsies? Did you take it over?
Oh, we're going on 7 years.
7 years.
So I would say about 5 years in is when we kind of really started putting everything in from our heads into a binder slowly, and then we just keep adding to it.
Is that because you felt the chaos sort of subsided, or how did you make that decision to go? No, we gotta document this.
I think I just begged for enough years, and she finally.
Really?
It's like a mother thing. She's finally like, whatever, let's just put it on paper.
Let's do it.
Maybe she'll stop asking me, and then she decided we really like it, so now she's like, maybe we can put some more.
Why isn't this in there?
We just function with a lot of stuff in our heads, and my running joke is, well, hey, one of us might get hit by a bus tomorrow.
Right.
We don't anticipate this happening, hopefully, but
it's
not a lot of buses in Galena, luckily.
You'll just go on vacation for an extended period.
But it's just that realization that you never know what life brings. So I'm like, if it's written on paper and one of us has to be gone for a week unexpectedly, everybody else can still function theoretically without us. It just won't be as fun, but.
That's true. Yeah. Speaking of fun, we were here today. And I'd like to transition a little bit and talk about fun customer stories.
Oh, there's so
Choose
many.
wisely.
There's
Choose
so
wisely.
I just love retail.
You miss it already, don't you?
There was a couple today who came in who I was sure that you guys knew who they were, or they knew who you were, or something, because they were so friendly. Mm-hmm. And then they were talking to one of our staff, and they called out, and said, "Hey, is that a cold sore on your face?" And we're sitting there going, "Okay, what are we talking about?" You get people who are kind of outgoing like that, and just kind of
you have all forms of customers every day, all day, and you know what? And we love them all. They, like I said, it's retail is entertaining that way. There's never a dull moment. They all mean well, and sometimes they just their interest levels are different than ours in different areas, and you know, you just got to roll with it.
At the end of the day, everybody that walks through our door is here to either have fun and to hopefully buy something, and they're maybe searching for a gift. So you just have to find out what their needs are.
Yeah.
So.
And I saw you playing games with kids today.
Yes, they have money too.
Well,
and they want to have fun. So.
Do you ever have to call the fun out of the adults then?
Oh.
They're coming in. They're like, I'm not
everybody.
Sure. Can I touch that?
You know, I think in today's world, what we do is different, and people come through our doors and they don't expect
someone to talk to them.
Somebody to talk to them in the level of craziness that they get.
Right.
I mean, we're wearing butterfly headbands, so I think sometimes people just have their guard up, and it's our job to break that down and include them. And by the time they leave, they feel so comfortable. We do get asked a lot of questions, or they feel they can talk to us like they know us.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get asked regularly, you know, what's your favorite restaurant in town? Where would you recommend that we eat? And it's because they feel comfortable with us and we are knowledgeable, and they can ask those questions.
Yeah. Is that part of your manual to here's how to open up a customer and get them to be comfortable with us?
It is part of the training, yes.
We have different methods that we've got our CD with this guy named Bob, call him Bob, my friend.
Okay.
And he trains you on sales and such, and so that's our first thing we start people off with. But yeah, he kind of talks you through too, like, you know, here's some questions you just need to ask.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is just being genuine. Like, people come in the store and they have their guard up. For one, a lot of shops in Galena don't actually talk to you till you hand them money and check out. And, you know, so they've gone through 4, 5, 10 shops, whatever. And then they walk in this one where you got like 6 crazies.
It seems everybody knows you.
And they all think they know you. And people will actually like kind of shut down for a bit. And we let them float. We can gauge that. We let them float, let them kind of warm up, you know. It's like tippy-toeing into the pool, you know. So, and then they'll get into a game and all of a sudden they'll have a question and they'll be like, oh, do I ask that lady over there? Or do I just wing it, you know? And finally they'll be like, oh, they seem legit. And they'll break down, or we'll come in and we'll say, oh, it looks like you're trying to figure that game out, you know, can I help you? And once you do that and they realize you're not like a used car salesman or someone who's just trying to like sell them $400 in stuff, but we will if they want to, then they kind of warm up and they're like, oh, you know what, I was wondering about this. And so you just gotta let them, everybody's got their own speed.
We eavesdrop.
Oh,
Hear, just yesterday, I can't remember exactly what it was, but somebody was asking for something particular and I overheard them, so I just jumped in, and next thing you know, I figured out what they needed and was able to help them.
So if you
they were ecstatic about that.
So it seems like if you treat people like you know them, then they suddenly treat you back like, hey, I know you. And now all of a sudden we're friends, we're just
and
talking
cool.
about.
It's like Elena said, we're just genuine. We want to have fun. We want people to enjoy their time here, and it sure makes gift shopping a lot easier. If you can help them. And
we tell our staff too, like, so part of our hiring process, retail is not for everybody. I mean, not anybody can just, people think they can do it sometimes, and so we're very upfront on the front end. Like, if you don't love what you're doing every day here, it's not for you, and you should just let us know and step away, or we'll let you know. It's good for both people. Nobody should do a job every day you don't love, and if you don't love it, the customers aren't gonna, react the same way. It's not genuine. So
they'll know it. For
sure.
Sure.
And then we've had a few people who thought this was cut for them, and they'll come in about 3 weeks later like,
can't do it.
Yeah, and we would rather people be honest and just go do something else, because it ties into everything. It's just the whole life of Poopsies needs to be people who love what they're doing. So.
Yeah. So let's talk about challenges. It's not all fun and games.
No, they make us do these things like live podcasts.
Right? Scary.
You're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay.
It's fine.
Be fine. Right? That's why I'm very mousy ears. I was talking to one of your customers today, and I said, hey, did you do that live Facebook thing? I said, first I said, yeah, Facebook. She's like, I Facebook all the time. Cool. If you do a live video on Facebook, I could give you this coupon. And she's like, I don't know. How do I do that? And I said, well, you press this button. She's like, I don't think I can do that. I said, well, I'll be your support mouse. Right? I think you were in on that, right?
I was.
And then we were like behind it. She's like, and as soon as I said, I'll be your support mouse, she's like, okay.
Okay,
Like,
it's fine.
How can you turn down a guy with a little big gray mouse ears on his head, Like, it's impossible.
Right. So it's not all fun and games. There's got to be some challenges. Pick a challenge that you guys have come through, and what was the challenge and how did you get through it?
I think our biggest challenge is finding enough workers, to be totally
Really?
honest.
Definitely.
Finding
Has that always been an
employment.
issue?
Yes.
It's been an issue for years for
okay.
us. Partly it might be because we do have high standards and we can't just have any person walking in off the street. The other part of it is young kids and young adults are so busy now that you don't have as much of a selection for people who can come in for part-time work because they're in 6 sports or whatever. So finding good employees is super hard, and so we've made sure that when we get them, we keep them. But I'd say that's our biggest challenge because really,
Most
what
definitely.
you only have so many options with that. It's not like you can just magically press the machine and they just start appearing.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's no employee vending machine.
right.
No,
Not
be
yet.
nice if there
Unfortunate.
was.
Yeah,
that's your
maybe
thing.
soon.
We do have a lot of small surrounding communities around us, so that is really helpful.
Yeah.
That we can pick up some young staff members, and if we can get them when they're freshmen, sophomores, and have
Yeah.
them, and then hope they go to college close by, that's ideal.
That's our biggest bonus.
It
You just want to go to
is.
Dubuque or
It is,
Platteville, right? They're
right?
great colleges
And
over
I
there.
will say the majority. I mean, we have a Jackie has been with us for 2 years today. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's
once
our
we
anniversary
find
today.
employees, they really tend to stick with us for longer periods of time.
Yeah.
We joke that we make them sign a contract that they're never allowed to leave, but
She jokes it's real. I have it in a small print. They just don't know it yet. We bring it up on
and it's
leaving
kind
day.
of funny. Like we'll talk and we'll start to panic about, oh my gosh, we need to find some employees and we're just not, finding the right fit. And then a week later, it all comes together and they walk through our door and it all works out in the end. So
I'd say
we're
that's our
very
biggest
lucky.
challenge.
Really?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'd say that's our biggest challenge.
definitely.
That and customer data. How do we collect customer data?
Yeah.
You know our pains on that one.
Oh yeah, customer data is huge.
It's
right?
huge.
People walk in, they walk out, and you're like,
Who are you?
And
Yeah.
I should know
Where are you
something
going
about
now?
you now. I should be able to stalk you in the future somehow with this technology, right?
Which is how we did the Poopsie's Live Day thing, and how we got to this, even having this podcast here in Galena. You've got this Poopsie's Live Day. It's crafted around your new website. The goal is get people to the website, also get people into the retail shop. But in that order, we want people to go to the website, we want people to go to the retail shop. If they can get to the website, we want them to take action on the newsletter. We also can get some demographic data about who's visiting our website, and then we can also tag them for future advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what do you see is the future of e-commerce for Poopsies? Because I know it's a fraction of your business right now, primarily because your other website wasn't so great, and it didn't represent you well online.
Right.
Certainly didn't. I mean, if a person saw that Poopsies website and then they stepped into the store, they'd think they were in 2 different worlds.
Right.
Because you guys are not those people. So now I think you're up to a point where it does represent you well. It is consistent. But what is the future of e-commerce for you, and how does that fit globally? Do you think in global e-commerce?
We're hoping this is the way to go. It's the big thing. It's our walls are limited to where we can expand here. I mean, there's 150-year-old brick buildings. There's not a lot you can do about them. So we're pretty well stuck here. So e-commerce is really our way of growth, and I just think it's the way of the times too. So so much of our customers come through this town only once or twice a year, sometimes only every other year. But once they're here, they remember us. Like, we have people that'll come back 3-4 years later and like, oh, we thought you were gone. No, we just moved. Okay.
Right.
Like, so they're remembering us. So I think having a site that represents us online allows them to have that venue now where they can still enjoy Poopsies from their home. And our goal is to have a whole online department where someone has to do shipping and online orders and processing every day. Like, that's what they get to do. So that's our goal. We would love to pull that off. So
And people
hopefully.
will interact with you not only through the website, having maybe not even spoken with you, but then you've got the Poopsie Live, which is that video shopping, live video shopping, which is an extension of your in-store shoppers, your in-store personal shoppers, which is kind of your special sauce.
Right.
And you've built a whole structure, management structure, even to make sure that is a high quality experience for your end user. But then you've also got now a shopping selector on your site. Because
Right.
you've got so many products out there.
Got a few. It's not even all online. We don't even.
No, right.
We got to work on that. Yeah,
No.
that's our next job, is getting more of it online. Like, we don't even have it all on there. 'Cause
Yeah.
Our policies and everything is beyond the ordinary. So our product selection is beyond the ordinary. So we're always bringing something new in, which has always been a little bit of our hard part with the website of having time to put it on there. Customer service is beyond the ordinary. I mean, the owner's a little out of whack, so we're a little beyond the ordinary. So it's just kind of our tagline and everything, and that's kind of our underlying, you know, if we're going to do something, let's make sure it's beyond the ordinary. And so that's why we're hoping the web goes that way too for us.
Yeah.
Ties in.
Awesome. So when you look back, if you were thinking of somebody starting a retail store or taking over a retail store, what would be your advice to them? How would you start that conversation? You're taking out for coffee, saying, "Hey, I'm going to get into this thing." What would you say?
Well, enjoy the roller coaster ride because it's
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, you got a strong stomach.
What
It's just part of it.
yeah, definitely.
Retail is one of those things where when something big's happening, you're going to be all in, and then maybe you'll have some other time where you have some free time. But you know, when the people are there, you got to be there, and that's I think one thing that people don't understand in retail. They think, I'm going to do it. I kind of like selling that stuff. I'm going to work 9 to 5 these days. And you really can't do that. You need to see the people are there, and you need to dive in and say, I'm going to do whatever I can to service these people for as long as they're in my doors. You know, whether they're 30 minutes. So people, I think, miss the mark on that. And I think the planning. Even in the beginning, we try to do everything ourselves. I mean, we started with 4 employees. 4 employees. We're up to
Really?
20.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we did it all.
That's extreme.
We did it
growth.
all. And so we've had a lot of growth. Sales-wise, staff-wise, in our last 5 years has been really awesome.
And
And,
learn to delegate. That's a big
Delegating
thing.
is huge.
Delegate out to
Yep.
other people.
and too, like things like where kind of we've ran into you guys is through organizations for economic development. You know,
Right.
take that time, as hard as it is when you're an entrepreneur, to say, I'm going to stop for 3 hours once a month and go to a class or go to watch a podcast or whatever I need to do. But I think it's super important to keep your brain always moving forward and training yourself on new things. We can always learn something new. I mean, we would not have thought of Poopsie's Live if we weren't just out there going to these things that are kind of like constantly putting little spurts in your head of, oh, I wonder how we can tie that in.
Yeah. Wow. Well, what a journey you guys have been on. It's so exciting from buying a business that's just, you know, it's in downtown Galena to now going from 4 employees to 20 employees. You're up here doing a live video cast,
And she's not even sweating
and
too
recording a
bad.
podcast. No, and you're doing funny. I was afraid
It's
you were
not
going to fall
terrible.
over.
I thought we were going to have the minutes, I'm not going to lie. But I figured it'd be good, you know, good publicity, so.
It just goes to show you have to step outside of your box.
That's right. Yeah, you've done a great
Always.
job. I knew that you would.
Thank you.
Right? I mean, seriously, from everything downstairs, you got this outgoing personality
Yeah.
that really makes that retail floor. And it seems that you're setting that bar for all the young employees and even the older employees who come in and training them well, because it's been a fantastic experience.
Good.
So the people who want to shop online, they can go to poopsies.com. That's Poopsies, right? Poopsies.com. I'm not sure that there would be another way to
Get all the
spell it.
P's, all the O's, and all
Right.
the S's.
Right.
You might get something weird otherwise. We've been told, we've not looked.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Well,
put in
all
all the
right.
P's,
So
O's, and S's.
Poopsies.com is the website that they can visit you online. And today, for our video viewers, today there are online specials. You can sign up for the newsletter and you can get coupons. If you happen to be in the Galena area, stop in the Galena area until what? 5 o'clock? 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock, the big
6 o'clock?
specials are running. The store's open till
Yep.
8. And then there's big bonus buys online too, while supplies last, that are just heavily marked down just for fun for customers. So.
Yeah, awesome. And
Yeah.
it's really a good time. There's
Good
a confetti
entertainment.
cannon that's going
Confetti
on.
cannon. Why wouldn't you need a confetti cannon?
Every hour with discounts that burst into the air. There's free things. I think we got like free sticky
got free
stamps
poo.
or something like
Stickers,
that.
Yeah.
sticky poo,
Yeah.
t-shirts.
Which is always weird when you go up to somebody and say, "Hey, would you
like
get your
some
free
sticky
poo
poo?
today?" And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
okay.
Everybody loves a little free poo.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, ladies, for being on the What Works podcast. It's a pleasure always talking to you and seeing where you guys are going.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Jason.
All right.